Have you ever started a big creative project but wondered if you actually would finish it? Let's flip through 100 junk journal texts together and discover what I learned about staying on track even when things get difficult. Hello, my lovely creative friend, and welcome back to Diary of a Creative Therapist. Today something special is happening. We are flipping through every single one of the 100 tags I made from a 100 tags in 100 days project, which actually took me 120 days, and I'm glad I did it. This isn't just a flip through, it's also a reflection on showing up, staying with something, making room for imperfection, and gently finishing what you start, even if it takes a little longer than you planned. So if you're holding something unfinished right now or wondering if you ever get to the other side of a creative commitment, I hope this video brings you comfort, perspective, and maybe a bit of quiet motivation. So these first tags were part of the ABC April 2025 challenge, and I went through all the letters of the alphabet. I was excited, yes, but also very unsure. So would I really make it to 100? Like, would I really make it even through to the 26? So, and would it be worth it? And would anyone even care or would like to watch me making this little text? And so every day I showed up and had some morning reflections, 15 minutes sitting down and doing one tag at a time that was inspired by a word that supported mental health and well-being. Here we have joyful, and then followed by kindness. The kindness one, even the video had a little fairy tale attached to it because I felt really inspired by the word kindness or by the concept of kindness. Then followed by love, that was a belly band here, and then disaster hit. We had such a rain that, my ceiling started leaking and I couldn't continue filming, and so I had a break. But what came out of that were then 14 takes together in one video where I reflected on tips and tricks to help me go through a crisis, like with optimism, like this one here. Oh, I like that one with the little doodle there on top. And here, with optimism. And I think the next one is patience. Yes. And so step by step, I then had to adjust to the original project. I couldn't make one tag per day and film it at the same time. I tried to stick to making one tag, but then I added them all together in one video at the end of the day. I think that's one very important lesson I had. If life gets in the way of doing something the way I have planned it originally, like doing one tag a day, filming it one per day, 15 minutes in the morning, and when that was not possible, to see, okay, what is possible? To simplify, like what I have done, to put some time management in place and be realistic about it. And with that, I could continue with 100 takes in 100 days in a different way that I have done before, with some understanding of my difficulties, acknowledging my vulnerabilities to, life having plans of its own and me having to adjust to that. Oh, I love that one. Willingness to adapt. And I like this old postage stamps there. They are German ones and they look like child's play. And I love working with stamps. I love that one. They are still from my mum when I was last time in Germany. And I'm a little bit cheeky with expectations for the X. Yeah, and sometimes we have to yield less and wait, hold our horses or hold our giraffes before we continue. And then zeal, 0 to hero in 45 seconds. That was the 26th one. And the other ones, they came in sets of 5s. This one, for example, here, I used little messages and I cut all the 5 backgrounds. As I said, I always use the same 5 backgrounds for all of my tags, and I started then numbering them after the 26. And here, some stamping, some sewing around. These were the first 5 or set of 5s. And then I started with a weaving technique and some washi tape and some stamping again. And out of limitation comes creativity. I like working with quotes. They kept me motivated throughout the entire process. And by the time I reached like 30 something by now, I started to feel a shift. So I wasn't just making tags, I was learning how to listen to myself. And these are little gratitude journals that I made, where I just started experimenting with the idea of a tag, like just not a simple tag, but something that unfolds. And I learned how to slow down and to notice what textures and colors I was drawn to trust these small things that can still hold meaning for me. And as a psychotherapist, I often talk about how important it is to notice the moment you are in, not just where you are going. These middle tags taught me that they weren't always pretty or polished, but they helped me stay connected to my hands, to my breathing, and to my now. And so I love the little houses. They are so whimsical. And with my next 5, they were full of experimentation. I tried the things I've never done before, layering fabrics, and I made my own little labels. And what I learned is that midway through anything, doubt usually comes to visit. That voice that says, why are you doing this? Or what's the point of all of it? But I kept showing up, and even on the hard days. And what I found was the doing was the point. Like the process was actually progress, step by step. And so I kept going in that direction. And I love this quality of adventure. Here I made the tags, like the next 5 or 6, I can't remember. Like I have different pockets and side tucks and top tucks, and so I played with the idea of botanical adventure. My daughter, when she was little, had a video game called Uncle Albert, and it was always that you could find little hidden things, and it had these qualities of this tags. Here something is hidden behind it, and here this little lace has a pocket and all the little tags everywhere, and here this so many things to discover and find. And so it felt I found a second wind. I enjoyed these ones so much. I would say nearly they are my favorite, but then on the other hand, like somehow they are all my favorite. But these ones, they had something very magical to them. Then Easter came along, and with Easter, I would definitely wanted to do something with these Easter bunnies, because I had found them way before I did them, and I found them so cute. And because there are 6 of them, I decided to make these 6 tags, each one again with a little quote. And the background is collaged, and it's even a little bit glittery and has a texture to it. So that's something I also loved. So even though my later ones, sometimes they were a little bit quieter, more minimal, fewer layers, less sparkles, and that is also okay. But with this one, I really liked the sparkles and the delicate fussy cutting. And here on the side, it has a border punch, and it's very textile and glittery. And I like that. From there, with the working with what I have, I decided to use all my little bits and pieces, my scraps, and I made a masterboard. And from the masterboard, I cut down quite a few tags. If you never have done a masterboard before, I really can recommend it. It's one of the most relaxing things to just use your scraps one after the other, glue them together, and watch them unfold, because it's not planned. And then I stamped with this stamp on top of it, and then finished them off with this vintage people, and again a few more quotes. That was one of the most healing things that I offered to myself. It's like that it is consistency of doing something, not perfection. And then I had left over still from my masterboard, and I thought I'd do something completely different. And I used these 2 tags to make this belly band, or this closure, for my junk journal. And this belly band or closure had this secret inside, like these 2 envelopes, each of them a little hidden writing spot. And I enjoyed that very much. That was very cute. And the other one even has here this little tuck. Here, can you see? There on the side, a little tag that I didn't count to the 100 tags. And as I said before, like, I had a huge masterboard, so I still had left over from the masterboard that I wanted to use for the tag directly here in my journal. And this one again has a hidden writing spot. I was obsessed with hidden writing spots. And here made a pocket where you can put the tag in, and it has a pocket on the top. And I made 3 more. Where are they? I made them directly into my junk journal. Wait. Now I can't find them back. Let's have a look. Here. Same concept, like the hidden tag and a pocket on the top. And I even had a 3rd one. Let's see if I can find it. Flipping through. Wait. Here it is. And I used that one on the side with a side pocket, and again like the hidden writing spot. And a little envelope that I can put in there. 2 more tags that I didn't count to the 100 because they are not decorated. Yes. From there, I used, this is a rug tape, and I love that one. It is so tactile. I found it in the hardware store, and I added these mushrooms to it and raised the mushrooms a little bit with like foam padding underneath. Here's some coffee dyed cheesecloth underneath to have these layers in it, the textile element that I really enjoyed. So, and from this textile, I moved forward with that. Here, I used the Japanese art method of filling something that is broken with gold to make it even more beautiful, to highlight mistakes rather than trying to hide them. Yeah, when I moved in this final third of this project, I started to learn more about these textures and touchable layers and fabric and stitching, lace and tea bags and coffee stained. And from there, I thought I would like to make a little bit of a booklet. I multimedia art little booklets. And I used one tag at the front and one at the back. I only counted them for 2 tags, but then filled them with these little art projects. And this one is my pink version. And I just played in it with, stop overthinking. Just one step at a time here. With the different styles, just using pink as my inspiration to fill this little art journal. Some cutouts. And here, choose to be happy. Keep life simple. And I enjoyed it so much that I decided I would like to have a green version of it. And I made a video walking you through how to make this little tag booklet. And this one was the green version. You are all I had hoped to find in every single way. And then with my final 10, they allowed me for a really gentle, tactile ending, like being in touch with myself, with my feelings, and sharing this with you, like the tactile sensation of crafting and the process of coming to the end of such a large project. Like it's the mixed feelings of, yes, being happy that it comes slowly to an end, not quite being there yet, but enjoying the process, starting to feel proud, being able to see the final tags inside. I love them so much, like the gentleness of the textileness or of the tactile sensations when going over this. So beautiful. And the last 3, like the last reflection on the frame and how it held me accountable and gave me the container to do such a big project. So here they are, 100 tags made slowly, imperfectly, with full permission to pause and begin again. It took 120 days and every single one was worth it. Not because the tags are perfect, but because they tell the truth about the process, about sticking with something, about being willing to meet yourself again and again wherever you are. And if you have been with me on this journey, thank you. And if you are just arriving, welcome. I hope this inspires you to begin or to begin again. Maybe it's not about making 100 tags. Maybe it's just about making something with your hands, with your heart, and with a bit of patience for the unfolding. And if this series had brought you comfort or inspiration, I would love for you to give me a thumbs up, subscribe, and leave me a comment. For now, take care and thank you again for being here.